are trying to move people back in to units that are unsafe and unhealthy. Last week, they put out a press release stating that the tenants were coming home and that it was cause for celebration. But what they failed to mention is that they never did mold testing in any of the apartments. And in one apartment that we hired a mold inspection company to test, in that very first one, they found mold and moisture present. And so today we're going to hear from two families. So far, we've had two inspections for mold. Both of them came out positive for moisture, and we're getting the results of the second one today. But they want to let you know what's really happening at Rosemont and why they're not celebrating. So I'd like to ask Britt Garza, whose home we're standing in front of, to share her story.
Hi, my name is Brittany Garza, and I'm a member of the Neighbors at Rosemont Tenants Association. Oh. I have lived at Rosemont for about 3 years, but before that, I was here. I lived here growing up. I moved in when I was pregnant with my daughter. I was about 5 or 6 months pregnant when I moved in, and ever since she's had health issues since she was born. For the long time, doctors just said that it was just allergies, or they really didn't know what it was. But not until recently, and after almost 2 years of voicing my concern with the doctor, she said she suspected it was a mold allergy. We were one of the families that received a termination notice in July, and since we've been relocated, and I noticed that my daughter has been getting better. When Rosemont told me that my unit was ready, I was really excited because being away from home has been really hard for my family. My 6-year-old is having accidents in the bed again and having trouble sleeping. My girls are afraid to go to sleep because they can't get comfortable in a place that they know they won't be staying at. Part of me is also worried about moving back because even though they did work on my house, I do not know if the work they did will prevent my daughter from getting sick again. Recently, Rosemont was supposed to provide tenants with evidence to show that mold was gone, but they admitted they never tested for mold, which is why I decided to bring in a mold tester during my walkthrough. When I let Rosemont know, they emailed to tell me that I could not have my own home inspected, and they said they stood by the results of the company they hired. The only reason why they let me bring the mold inspector was because the county commissioner's court intervened. I am still waiting on the mold testing results, but the mold inspector did find moisture in the rooms where my child sleep and evidence of possible mold. My family is willing to move back in as long as Rosemont guarantees to fix the mold, but they refuse to give me my keys because I don't want to sign a document saying they are not required to make all the repairs. I turned in the form that they asked for, and because it wasn't suitable for them, they're not accepting it, and they're asking me to turn in another form before I get my keys. And this is the third time they've told me that they will refuse to give me my keys unless I sign this paper. I just don't want this to happen to anyone else, and something needs to change. And neighbors at Rosemont demand that SHFC provide Rosemont tenant community with reports and test results from licensed professionals that show moisture and mold are no longer present. If moisture or mold is found, SHFC must follow the recommendations of the licensed mold inspectors to fix the units. And I also don't forget to mention neighbors who were not relocated, and we demand that SHFC hire licensed contractors to immediately complete unfinished construction work because there are still families here at Rosemont who are living with drywall, and they left tenants living without the drywall and exposed to the elements. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Britt. And now I'd like to invite Lisa to come up.
Hello everyone, my name is Lisa Reams. I am a member of the Neighbors at Rosemont Tenants Association. I have been a part of this since the beginning, and this started before the winter storm. I have waited 8 months for them to fix my apartment, but now they are trying to force me to move back into my unhealthy unit. In the beginning, I was told that I would be able to move into another unit and would be taken care of, but none of this has happened. If my apartment was deemed unlivable in June of 2021, what makes it livable in December 2021 if the mold and the moisture that causes it, which made my apartment uninhabitable, has not been removed? My problem lies with the health concerns that are affecting my children to this day. They experience hair loss and skin irritations and unexplainable nosebleeds. My doctors confirmed it was environmental, and when the mold company that I hired tested, they found a type of mold that causes these specific health issues. No amount of mold is acceptable. If our health is in danger, why would they tell us to come back? I am here to demand that SHFC provides reports and test results from licensed professionals that show proof the mold and moisture are gone. When they do find it, like in my apartment, SHFC must follow the recommendations of licensed mold inspectors to properly remove it. We are also calling on Travis County commissioners to hold SHFC accountable and answer for their actions. After these long 8 months, things are more unstable. It is taking a toll on my children and on me. It is hard to focus, and every day I worry about what our next move is. We need answers, and we need SHFC to do the same thing or step down from their position so that people who actually care about tenants can do the right job. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Ahora quiero invitar a Erika Cervantes a compartir otra historia con nosotros.
Buenas tardes y gracias a todos por estar aquí. Mi nombre es Erika Cervantes, soy miembro del comité directivo de vecinos de Rosemont. Estoy aquí porque soy parte de las familias que fueron reubicadas y soy la voz, mis compañeros y yo, y basta, somos la voz de los vecinos que se quedaron aquí sin ser reubicados. A estas familias les prometieron que sus departamentos serían remodelados con ellos viviendo en las unidades, prometiéndoles que no habría mucha molestia, pero sabemos que esto ha sido muy estresante por el ruido, el tiradero y la interrupción de sus vidas cotidianas. Después de la demolición, el trabajo no se termina y ahora estas familias están viviendo sin paredes. Esas paredes están cubiertas con plásticos. Sabemos que las inclemencias del tiempo cambian y tenemos niños viviendo dentro de esas viviendas, tenemos personas de la tercera edad, tenemos personas con discapacidades. Les pedimos y les demandamos a la SHFC y a la gerencia que han dicho que estas familias no son una prioridad y que no tienen un plan para arreglar estas horribles condiciones en las que ellas están viviendo. Y también han dicho que estas familias tendrán que pagar su renta completa a principios de enero. Eso no es justo por las condiciones insalubres que ellas están viviendo. Por estas razones, los vecinos de Rosemont demandamos que la SHFC inmediatamente contrate a contratistas para que terminen estos trabajos que se inició hace meses y están poniendo en riesgo la vida de todas esas familias que viven ahí. Les podemos mostrar unas fotografías de la forma insalubre en que esas familias están viviendo. Siento que necesitamos tener una vida digna, una vida con respeto, que se nos respeten nuestros derechos y también se nos respete nuestra dignidad como persona. Todos los inquilinos debemos de ser una prioridad y todos merecemos vivir en un lugar seguro, saludable y que se respete nuestra integridad como individuo. Mi voz es la voz de las personas que se quedaron aquí y si hablo en español es porque aquí hay muchas personas que no hablan los dos idiomas, no dominan el inglés y solo hablan español. No me siento la voz que los representa, pero sí soy una persona que vive aquí y queremos también que esas personas reciban todas las notificaciones en los dos idiomas, tanto inglés como en español. Gracias a todos ustedes por venir.
Gracias, Erika.
Thank you so much, Erica. So that's basically the reason that we called this press conference together. You can see there's still mold in the apartments. There are units that aren't fixed, and so the neighbors at Rosemont are demanding that SFHC provide them with reports and test results from licensed mold professionals showing that moisture and mold are no longer present. And if they find it, like they did in Lisa's house or in Britt's house, that they fix it. And we also don't want to forget about our neighbors who stayed here, who are living in these deplorable conditions with winter coming, possibly another winter storm looming. We want to make sure that they're a priority and they get fixed now because they've been waiting a long time. And finally, we're calling on the Travis County Commissioners to hold SFHC accountable and for them to answer for their actions. So thank you so much for coming out today. We're available for interviews, or I don't know if people have questions for specific people.